Hello, I'm Ken, VK7DY. As you probably know by the call sign, I'm a ham radio operator. For the last 28 years I've been experimenting with amateur radio and antennas and making my own, and I've discovered quite a few things about amateur radio antennas that I've now improved on. The NextG phone network antennas that I'm producing came about because I had some friends who had NextG phones, and once they left the metropolitan area here in Hobart and went to their homes, their NextG phones wouldn't work. So they were speaking to me about this and moaning that it was all too hard and they weren't worth it. So I decided that I would make them some antennas to try and see if I could improve their home phone for the people who lived out of town, and some of them had camper vans and some lived in holiday shacks, as we have a lot of here in Tasmania, in the Lake Country, and they were finding that their NextG phones weren't working up there. So I put together some programs, went through, did a lot of study, had a look at the frequencies that the NextG network were using, and came up with some very good Yagi antennas. Gave them to my friends to take and try. They then took them to the Lake Country and they were very, very pleased with the results. Since then I decided that maybe that there are other people out there who would like to have these antennas and try them out. So I started advertising some on eBay, and to my surprise people were looking for this type of antenna, and it wasn't just local here in Tasmania that were having these problems. I soon discovered that all over Australia people were also having problems with their NextG network. I've discovered that there are many things that antennas are good at and many things that they're not good at, and some of the things that break, I've had a lot of experience in working out where those faults are and making them better for my product. My antennas are handmade and they're not mass produced. They're made from top quality materials and not from recycled materials at all. The aluminium is 1.2 millimeters thick and the booms are 19 by 1.2 powder coated, and I don't use plastic fittings. Some of the other antennas in the market are using plastic insulators and fittings, and they don't hold up after a few years with the UV rays that we have here in Australia. My antennas should give you many years of trouble-free use. If you've purchased your new NextG phone and you haven't got a patch cable that will match my antenna, you can get one from me. I can supply a patch cable for you. You'd have to tell me what kind of phone you have and what model, and I can supply you with a patch cable at an extra cost. After testing the antenna, I package it up and I make sure it won't fall apart in postage, because you know what it's like with the postage these days. You've got to have it really taped up nice and strong. And underneath the antenna there's a board, well, not a board, a piece of cardboard, so it keeps it all straight. So if they do drop it or kick it around, it won't get bent. So when you get it, it will be in perfect condition. I test all my antennas before they leave the workshop to make sure that all the parts are there and that everything you need, so that when you get the antenna it's ready to use. You don't have to worry about things not being in the package. Once your antenna's arrived at your house and you've unpacked it, it will look like this. You carefully undo the top, remove the label, turn the label over, and on the back you will see some instructions on what to do with your antenna once you've unpacked it. Okay, so here we go. Let's take out the antenna. Remove the antenna from the bag and take out your clip. So you should have in your bag is the bracket, your antenna, and 10 metres of cable. And I'll just cut that. Okay, I'll just turn over the antenna. I'll just get this out of the way. So this is your 10 metres of cable. On the end of the cable will be the FME connector, which connects to your mobile phone patch lead. This section here is where the signal is being picked up from, and this is called a ballon. the ballon, just make sure that your ballon is still connected to these nuts here and is quite solid and hasn't managed to come undone or broken off during the postage. It should be cable tied here, and these should be also cable tied. There's a small loop here that has to stay. Don't undo those. So you've got this connection, the ballon, these cable ties, the loop, all that has to. That's how it should be. There shouldn't be anything moving around. This should all be nice and secure. Okay, the next thing you need to do is put on your mounting bracket. And you would have received your mounting bracket. It'll be in a plastic bag. So remove it from the plastic bag. And there's a U-bolt, a V-block, and another little plate here. Undo the nuts. Take off your washers. Pick up your antenna. Now this can only go one way, the way I've put the holes in the boom. It goes through the holes. Insert your washers. Put on your nuts. Now the antenna is ready to be mounted on your pole, and the antenna should be in this position, ready to be pointing towards the cell tower. Okay, so for the purpose of this demonstration is to show you how to mount up your antenna. I've got this small portable pole here, so this could be a way of mounting your antenna if you're a camper person, or you're up the lakes, or you're out fishing, or you just want to have a portable unit. Then these little tripods are very good for that. So what we do, pick up your antenna. You've got your clip on here, and make sure that this piece here and this piece here are on the right side. Okay, mounting the antenna on the pole is done like this. Just make sure that the pole goes between this clamp and in here. Set up your spanner and tighten up the nuts. And just nip them up. And now your antenna is now mounted on the pole. Remembering this little loop is still in place, and you bring the antenna cable down. We'll just loosen this off a bit and bring it up so you can see it. Took it out, so this is how it should look on your pole. Okay, once you've got it on the top of the pole, raise up the pole, tighten it off. We'll do that the right way. And then you can then attach your cable to the top of the pole so it doesn't pull off. And making sure that this little loop is still intact and is taped to the pole. So if you're pulling on the cable, you're only pulling on this piece and not this piece here. So now we're going to adjust the antenna towards the cell tower. By watching the signal strength on the phone, you gently rotate the antenna till you get the best signal, and then back till you get the worst signal. Once you've got the worst signal, you come back until you get the best signal, and that's where you lock off your antenna. Now that we've covered all the aspects of the antenna, how we get it to you, how it's packaged, how you unpack it, how you mount it up on the roof, how you point the antenna to the cell tower, you shouldn't have any problem with my antenna picking up the NextG network from your remote location or wherever you want to put it. Whether you're a camper person, whether you're a shack owner, or you're just at a home base and you're just out of a fringe area, then this definitely will work for you. I'm looking for your feedback. I need good feedback as well as bad feedback, so I'm here to help. If you don't tell me the problems with the product, then I can't make them better. So please tell me if you what you think, and if it's working really well, I'd like to hear as well. Thank you.